So, as days goes, today's been it's been actually a pretty eventful day. I just had a meeting with a member of staff from the Thorn Project. And I've been following Ashton Kutcher for probably 30 years now. Since he was a Calvin Klein model. And, when the text message came through, I was so excited. I was so super excited because I had been looking for like 3 years for somebody that was working in this area of specifically on child sex trafficking. So the meeting went really, really well. So that's not why I'm upset. But as I'm looking through the material, that they gave me, I'm having like these sudden realizations that there's a lot of things that the company that I'm working with is doing that definitely have the ring of child sex trafficking and just generalized human trafficking. We're not really realizing how commonplace, human trafficking is. That, I'm a survivor of, child abuse. I was raped at 7 years old, and I was found by 4 different pedophiles by the age of 12. Having been through all of that, I know that I can look backwards, and I had a really, really great mom who was super involved in my life, and she was like, they make TV shows out of the type of mom that my mom tried to be. I was still found, and I was still trafficked, and I was still, I'm still a survivor. But I can look back and see where the holes are. And one of those holes is just not educating your kids. There's also that, just because something looks like a duck and quacks like a duck doesn't mean it's a duck. I've seen some advertisements on Facebook and other social media where they're talking about human trafficking, and that these are examples. And one of the examples they used was, it was a job application, or a job, a small company was advertising for young people to come and work. And I personally have done this. And the reason I did that is because the majority of small businesses will not talk to teenagers. And our teens are in need of money. They need money. They need to buy toys and whatever. And a lot of them, surprisingly enough, are supporting their families at 15, 17. One of the young people that I hired was actually 13 years old. He was my friend's nephew, and he was expecting his first baby. Whoa. At 13, you're expecting your first child. So just because something looks like a duck, and I put those kind of ads up and everything, and now they're telling everybody that this is a sign of a human trafficker. Okay. So, but it is very commonplace. It's probably one of the most commonplace. You don't even you'll walk past it every single day and don't even realize it. Facebook is a human trafficking source. Craigslist, YouNow. These are human trafficking sources, and there is a deep, deep action to look at the heads of these companies and say, they're doing nothing. And although I believe in my heart of hearts that I could not have been deceived this deeply, it is absolutely possible. I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I'm hoping that that God wouldn't make me go through this again. You know, the fruits that I'm seeing are not from people that would do something like this. I am definitely going to be looking at more of Thorn Project's materials and seeing what I can do as far as advocating for the organization, as well as with within my own community. But we really need to open our eyes to the fact that we are depriving our children of one simple thing: their own authority. The ability to say no when something does not feel right, does not act right, or we just don't want to, you know? Being able to say no. It's a one-syllable word, but the majority of us are brought up not understanding the word no and not being able to say no. We say yes to things that we want to say no to all of the time. It's time that we start teaching our kids to say no to the things that we want to say no to.